We can stay on the line. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, and that means it's time for you to learn everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, and every Friday we go live with our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer, who is hopefully going to be logging in any moment. We're having a technical situation, so I just wanted to say hello, everybody. And we are super excited to talk with you because, as usual, we have a hot topic for you to apply to writing and publishing your book. So, hopefully, Joni's going to pop in any second. But meanwhile, here's the hot topic. It's really, really important. It is understanding cultural sensitivities when you write your book. Because when you write your book, yes, you have a target audience. However, you want to make sure that you are inclusive and don't do anything that makes other people feel excluded from the message that you are sharing. Now, some people have messages of exclusivity and not including other people. That's not the kind of book we're talking about right now. The books that we write and publish at Two Sisters Writing and Publishing are about celebrating everyone, celebrating human harmony, celebrating inclusion, diversity, justice, equality for all. So when we do, I've got Joni. Oh,
Will that work?
I hope so. I'm going to put you right next to the microphone. So
Okay.
I don't know for all you viewers out there, could please comment if you can actually hear Joni. Can you say something, Joni?
You betcha. Oh my gosh, it's a crazy, wonderful, beautiful day, and people are working on my internet and they're climbing poles and doing all kinds of things. So I appreciate your flexibility, Elizabeth, and everybody else. And this is a fabulous topic. Let's jump right into it.
Yes. So it's really important because as an author, you want to make sure that when you do write your messaging, that it's inclusive and not exclusive. And you don't want to accidentally offend any person or group of people. There are stories about authors who have been, quote, canceled when they do something that is culturally offensive, and they aren't aware of it. So, Joni, do you have any points you'd like to share about why it's so very important to be inclusive when you're writing a book?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think the biggest thing is people's feelings get hurt. And when they are feeling ostracized or they're feeling put down or they're feeling not accepted
Mhm.
and let alone not celebrated. And so those feelings get hurt for people. And when you read a book and you read something that is anti who you are, it deeply hurts. And in
Mhm.
the LGBTQ world, that happens quite frequently because our society has sort of like these unspoken conditions that it's a heterosexual world. And so to speak to LGBTQ issues, we really need to be inclusive. A good example would be is when you're at a meeting or a conference or a gathering and they say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, some people don't like that. They don't fit into what a lady or a gentleman is. They don't like that label.
Mhm.
And this is where in the LGBTQ world, pronouns are super, super important to ask somebody, do you use he, she, they? How do you like to be identified?
Mm.
And the more inclusive we can be,
Mhm.
in our writing as well as our speaking, then people feel good. And isn't
Mm.
that the point when you read a book is to feel good that you can relate to what the author is saying?
Absolutely, absolutely, Joni. So, very importantly, when people say ladies and gentlemen, they think they're being cordial and welcoming because that's what they've heard their whole life. That's how they've heard other people do introductions and address crowds. But it's the responsibility of us as authors and communicators to examine our own unconscious biases
Yes.
because those speakers might not know that ladies and gentlemen is makes some people feel bad and not included. So we have to speak up because it's all a learning curve for everybody, and we have to be the educators. And when you're writing a book, how do you go about making certain that your messaging is culturally sensitive? And when I say culture, I mean race, ethnicity, religion, gender, uh, sexual identity, whatever it is, however we identify in all of those categories, we need to have someone who has super sensitive skills examine what we're writing, not to police it, not to be, quote, politically correct, but to make certain that we are not pushing any buttons that could be offensive or make people feel excluded. What are your thoughts, Joni?
I totally agree. I totally agree. And Elizabeth, one of the key points that I learned from you as a book coach, and it sounds so simple. You would say, Joanie, who is your target audience? Mm-hmm. Who are you writing to? Mm-hmm. And what I needed to do by you asking that, and you would come back to it many a time, is to think about them. So when I wrote None Better, I'm thinking about the Catholic priests and nuns and the people that are Catholic. When I wrote Joyously Free with you about LGBTQ, oh my gosh, we wanted to make sure that we were representing them in their totalness. And so it was just, but to be in the mindset of thinking, how would a Catholic person interpret this? How would a trans person interpret this? Mm-hmm. To put some thought and reflection into that and choosing words carefully. Mm-hmm. You've taught me that, and Catherine has taught me that, and especially in editing. I don't know how many times I would edit a sentence or a paragraph or a chapter just to make sure that the words were accurate.
Yes, I love, love, love that. And also, understanding what words can make someone feel excluded or even turned off. So when we wrote Healing Religious Hurts together, I wanted to make certain that we were not inflicting any other hurts by the language that we used, because some people don't relate to Jesus. And I do, you do. I have a non-denominational Jesus who loves everybody, and Jesus is your best friend. But sometimes if you say Jesus and someone has been hurt by the church, it's going to just completely turn them off. So how do you navigate sensitive topics like that and express your authentic truth without alienating others? And right, right. I think
Key point. Oh, I love that.
yeah.
Speak truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the same time, to be sensitive to others.
Yes, and that's really important because you want to be authentic. So our author, Master Sergeant Cedric King, who is author of the best-selling book, The Making Point, he says at the very beginning, God is the reason I'm still alive. God is the reason that I am thriving as a motivational speaker. And if you can't relate to that language, if you don't want to hear me talk about God as my superpower, then this book is not for you. He says that at the beginning. So authors out there, just put that in. This is me. If you don't relate to this, this isn't the book for you. That's one way to solve this. But another thing, Joni, is that we have our wonderful editorial assistant, our publishing assistant, Natalie Luderman, who has an absolute eagle eye for not only punctuation, grammar, redundancies, but she has this like sensitivity filter where she's able to see people's perspectives and how they might interpret a part of a book in ways that we never even thought about. And so I recommend to all of you authors out there having someone on your publishing team who has that sensibility, who is able to read your book through a filter that you might not have, so that they can advise you on how you might tweak or just remove a certain word or change a certain word. Hmm. Yeah. Um, Yeah, Natalie's amazing. We're really fortunate to have her on our team. And then Similarly, just having an editor can help a lot. So, for example, I have a friend who recently used the term manifest destiny. Now, we hear the words manifesting all the time. It's really important to manifest what you want in life. And then destiny is another powerful word. But when you put those two words together, yeah, they sound cool. But guess what? Manifest Destiny was the American government's program to steal the land from Native Americans, kill them, and take over, and then relegate Native Americans to reservations out west. So, Manifest Destiny in the historical context, maybe it was the 17 or 1800s, was to just move west and take over the whole land up to the California ocean side. So, we don't want to use that term as something cool, but my friend didn't know that that's what it meant. So if you put it in a book and someone's reading it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Manifest Destiny was a brutal, horrible campaign," not something to use as something wonderful. Like when you say, "Let's manifest our best destiny." Yeah, it sounds great, but understanding the history is really important.
And again, I think it comes back to teamwork. And that is what is so awesome about your business and how you help people with their books.
Hmm.
I think of Jack Cooper and how you asked me to connect with Jack Cooper. And Jack was like, Joanie, I need a lesbian's perspective of this. Would you please read my book and give me a lesbian perspective of it?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and the new author coming on will be Joseph Conjurer. And I spoke with him yesterday, and he's the same thing. He goes, I need a team. I need a team. It just can't be my words, my thoughts, my own editing. I need a team.
Nice. I love, love, love that. So, on your team, when I talk about sensitivities and filters, our author, Elmer Dixon, whose book is the best-selling Die Standing, he's a former Black Panther Party leader and now a global diversity consultant. He helps people when he speaks at big corporations and universities around the world. He helps people examine their own personal biases that they are unaware of. And again, we're conditioned from birth to view, perceive people, religions, groups a certain way. And we are instilled with certain language that unfortunately we perpetuate, and it makes people feel excluded. So finding a way to examine your own biases and being open when someone points something out. Someone recently pointed something out to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that," because I like to think I'm the queen of sensitivity and inclusion, and so even I welcomed that perspective and with open arms, an open heart, and now I'm way more conscious of my speaking when I'm addressing other people. And so I'm grateful that my friend helped me all examine that languaging. Hmm.
I just have to jump in there. Everybody listening, it was me communicating with you. Okay. And I think that comes back to having the trust and the belief that the person you're working with can take it
Yeah,
and understand it and view it from your angle.
yeah,
And to me, that is like the best of any relationship when you can do that. And I know that what you wrote at that particular time, that was, it wasn't malicious, it wasn't degrading, but I knew your heart was in the right spot. But I knew it's also like, oh, I think I need to jump in here and help Elizabeth understand where I'm coming from. And that's it. And you do the same for me.
right.
And many people do that for me. But to be open to that, not to be harsh and like, oh, critical of their opinion or their thought.
Right, right,
So
right, right. I love that. I
I
love it.
appreciate your graciousness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I appreciate. So as a journalist, when I was a reporter at the Detroit News, we had to take criticism, constructive criticism from our editors. And some people would get mad if they said, "Oh, rearrange your story," or "You still need to get this information." And I saw it as a learning experience because constructive criticism means construct, means you become better, you build something better than what you had. So I welcome that. And authors, please listen when people give you guidance on your book, especially when it comes to cultural sensitivities. I recently coached somebody and I said, you really need to make this major change in your book for it to be readable. And I don't know that they've done it. I don't know if they agreed with me, but not everybody's going to listen and take advice. They're going to be, but we can't control other people, but we do need to have the courage and confidence to express and teach and advise when we feel it's appropriate.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Yep. Yep. Oh, this
And
is a great topic. This is a
yeah.
great topic. And I'm thinking of many things going through my head. We were just talking about words and cultural sensitivity that way. Uh, Something on the religious part, the church part, the spiritual part is the word kingdom. For
Ooh.
years and years, we've all been associated, maybe, especially in the Christian Judeo world, that kingdom, God's kingdom on earth. And years ago, I heard, and I believe this, take out a letter and make it kingdom.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
It makes it inclusive. You're not then settling into a kingship, which that's a hierarchy. There's a lot of stuff around that, but kingdom opens it up to everyone.
I love that, Joni. I've never heard this before. Yeah.
It's not just a church, it's a mosque, it's a temple, it's a spiritual living center.
Yeah.
It's not just a one word of the church, but to think more openly, to think more worldly.
Hmm. I love it. I love it. And thinking about how we language life, words create life, and words create our world. And again, we've been conditioned and taught certain wording. So I'm very cognizant about how language has been used to mm, perpetuate power. And so if you look at the word black and white, white has been pure, angelic, good, and then black has been villainized as evil and dark and scary and negative. And so I'm very cautious and I actually engineer wording so that I flip the switch, flip the script. So I'll say, look at that elegant black dress and I'll pair the word with something positive instead of something negative. And then people hear and people hear that. And you can do that in so many cool ways. Like if you see a person say they're transgender and you want to point them out, highlight them as a human and make a point to people. Wow, look at their gorgeous dress. You're not saying, oh, I think that's a man wearing a dress. You say, look at say something positive. Oh, look at their successful business so highlight them as normal, not as their gender identity.
Not different.
Right, right. They're a person contributing, being kind, um, emanating positive energy in the world. That's what we highlight.
Right.
We normalize everybody, and therefore people feel included and celebrated.
Right.
And we can do that in
Right.
our writing, in writing books, of course.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
mhm.
And one of the things that you've written in many of your books, and I love it, Elizabeth, talk about words, meditation, medication. Can you talk about that, please?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So in my memoir, I wrote In God's Answer is No, KNOW, Lessons from a Spiritual Life, which several people in our meditation group are reading. My Goddess Power Meditations on Wednesdays that Joni comes to. They're reading the book, but I wrote a section on how there's only one letter different between meditation and medication. And so I believe that meditation is medication, and there are proven health benefits. It lowers your blood pressure, it helps you sleep better, it boosts your immune system, so many things. And so when you're a writer, you can meditate. And I just taught this last night at the mini Goddess Power Retreat. Meditate for messaging from spirit, God, universe, your higher self, whatever your belief system is. And when you get this guidance, it gives you brilliant ideas to put in your book. And spirit, the universal field of knowledge, knows what the world needs and knows how you can best express it. So when you meditate, you can help medicate the world through the pages of your book. Oh, I love it. I love it. For anybody who's just joining, Joanie is on her phone, wasn't able to connect to Zoom. So here we are, phone, laptop, microphone, still doing the podcast on Friday to teach you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote amazing books. Yeah. hmm You're welcome.
Teach. I think that's a big part of what we do with as an author with cultural sensitivity. We're teaching people different words. We're teaching people different phrases. We're teaching people to be more loving and kind and not hateful.
Yes, yes.
And at the same time, as your entire business promotes, you are a business of helping diverse voices be heard.
Yes, 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 yes. That's so important. So very important. And also, as an author, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find the people who need to read what you're writing, who are going to be touched and transformed. And again, your book isn't, our books, whoever's watching or listening, your book isn't for everybody, but it will find the people that it's meant for. And that's the beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And to be able to do all that we do as authors, it takes concentration and it takes reflection and it takes some quiet time and it takes a team and all these things that we've talked about because for a lot of us, it doesn't always just come so naturally to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why teamwork makes the dream work. Having people who now you understand, everybody watching or listening understands that having somebody who can help with cultural sensitivities is really, really important.
Doesn't mean you have to start by writing a book about it. It starts in your text messaging. It starts in emails and the words you choose and how you do that.
Yeah. And it's really interesting to understand historical perspectives. So, for example, in my mother's memoir, she's telling stories from the 60s, and the word Negro was used. Nobody is going to use that word today. The word is Black or African American. And then at times the word colored was used. Nobody certainly is going to use that word today. So it's not wrong to use the right word from an era, but use it in a respectful manner. Because that can apply to LGBTQ plus people, other ethnic groups where there were even people with developmental disabilities. That's the term you use, developmental disability or something specific like autistic. And there's the R word that is just people don't say anymore because it's offensive. But not everybody knows that. I still hear people say that word, and they just don't know. So it's our job not to be the police, but to let people know that word is super offensive to people. The better way to say it is developmental disabilities. So can you imagine if someone wrote a book with the best intentions and used the R word in it? It would really, really offend families of children and adults who are autistic or have another developmental disability.
So this was a great conversation and discussion. Carol, living in a powered chair after a stroke for 8 years, she automatically said, I am not disabled.
Wow.
I am differently abled.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So I don't even, in me personally, I don't use the word disabled. It's differently. People are differently abled.
Oh, I love that, Joanie. I love that.
Again, it goes back to an attitude. It goes back to the words. It goes back to how you've experienced things.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, and I love these kind of discussions with you, Elizabeth, and with everybody out there,
Yeah.
because hopefully this will trigger things within your own family and friends groups that you can begin to look at why you're using these certain words.
Right, right. And guess what? You're introducing people to a new way of thinking and speaking because
Mhm.
again, we're spoon-fed words and most
Mhm.
many people don't have the creativity, autonomy, confidence to create their own phrases. And so when we show that example, whether it's spoken word or through books, it gives other people the power to say, "Oh, I can define myself." And I can announce that. I can write that in my book, and it's teaching other people to have that courage and confidence as well. I love it. That's awesome. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. So, any final words, Joni, about writing a book with cultural sensitivity?
Words are have diverse friendships. Have
Mm.
friendships because that will open your mind and your heart to words and expressions and being able to write about it. So
Yeah.
when you have diverse friendships, it just opens your whole world.
Hmm.
So don't be narrow minded and stick to your own little group. Get out there, go somewhere else that can open you up to be the best you. And in turn, you're going to find other people that are also in that realm.
I love that. How do people meet? Like, it takes, like, how do you recommend people who want to expand their circle to have more diverse people in their group? How do you start?
That's a great question. Look at the events in your city or your town, and or go to a chamber mixer, or go to the new pickleball court, or go to a different church, or go to a different coffee shop, or talk to young people on the street and just say hi. How's it going? And see what they come back with. What kind of words are they going to come back with? You know,
Oh.
start that conversation, and as Carol would always say, smile first. Have big smiles, because when you smiles, that opens the door for communication.
I love that. So, real quick, Joni, my meditation teacher, Dr. Rama, he and my mother met in line at the Secretary of State, which in Michigan is the DMV. And
Okay.
they were just in line, and he started talking. He's from India and he's Hindu. And he started talking to my mother, who was a judge at the time. She's retired. And they struck up a friendship. Little did they know that by inviting me and us to their dinners and wonderful vegetarian feasts and prayer and music, it was amazing. Dr. Rama taught me how to meditate, and that set me on a life-changing course to become a meditation teacher, certified and leading retreats and meditations and changing my life through meditation. So my mother didn't yes, yes. And my mother did not step out and say, "Oh, I want to meet someone who's Hindu who can teach my mother to meditate, my daughter to meditate." It just happens. So when you open your heart and activate your energy to attract new people into your life and unique, wonderful, enriching experiences like I just described, you will just you'll meet them at the grocery store, in line at the DMV, and maybe the gas station. Yeah. So,
Started
yes,
for Dan and the purple couch that we bought in Medford. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh.
right,
And
right.
I mean, oh my gosh, all these serendipitous moments. And,
Yes,
and I think they're a divine thing, because they're
yeah,
just unexplainable. They're just so
yes,
powerful. Oh, I
yes.
just like to hear about your mom and your meditation.
Yeah, it's amazing. But we magnetize ourselves to people when we open our hearts to them. So I'm so happy that you're in our lives, Joni, and all the things we've done together, and there's so much more we can do. So everybody,
Yes.
please take everything we said today and let it fill your heart and soul and inspire you and take your writing to a whole next level where you're always inclusive, celebrating people and using your book as a tool to cultivate human harmony.
Yes, beautiful. Well
Hmm.
said.
Thank
Well
you.
said.
Thanks.
Oh my God. And I appreciate you. I love you. And thank you for all that you do for me and for our world, Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you, Joni. It's an absolute honor, 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 honor. Okay, so Joni, thank you for another awesome episode here on Two Sisters Writing and Publishing's YouTube channel and also the audio podcast. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, and please visit our website, twosisterswriting.com. You can learn about all our books, including Joni's best-selling memoir, None Better, An Amazing Love Story, my memoir, God's Answer is No, Know, my Goddess Power books, our books we wrote together, Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts, and so many other books. You can also learn about how you can publish your book with us or get the help you need to write your book because I am a book coach and Joni is proof that it works because she is a bestseller who now even has a syndicated radio program. So the sky is the limit. So I hope you can please visit twosisterswriting.com. We wish you happy reading and happy writing, and we'll see you next week.
Hugs, even though you can't see me.